Alright, having a look at everything here. I think we are good to go. I have no idea why my mic is so quiet today. Like, actually, it's really weird. Let me just adjust some settings on the dial real quick. That might cause some peaking, but I mean, at this point, we have to go with what we got because it's... I don't know why. It just keeps cycling audio, but there, that should be good now at the very least. Hopefully it doesn't peak, but we'll see how things go. All of our commands are good. And I'm going to set up a 30-minute prediction here. And I'll set that for 30. We'll get that started. So that's going as people are coming in. Edit something real quick in the title. Awesome. Alright, so this is a Friday Night Fights Soon event, which is Saturday something something. Got about 105 players in. This is usually a 3-life PvP style event. Both sides have a spawn base. And then there is some additional stuff here. So we have multiple sectors and some other objectives here. So usually how it goes is there are multiple Blue 4 and Op 4 sectors. When one is locked, the other one is unlocked. We got those 4 up there. There's also a zone right there, which I think is there for spawning. Blue 4 also probably has a close zone. So you got aircraft back here, and then you got ground vehicles and stuff on that side. And then there's some additional stuff here. Okay. So it looks like at the destroy objectives, there's some caches containing mortars, drones, and then the terminal off to the side here. I don't know what this is for specifically, but we otherwise just have the 4 standard sectors, and it looks like we're pushed in. So whoever basically has greater control of the sectors by the end of the mission wins. In terms of the point counts, if it goes to points, otherwise, whoever has more of the sectors themselves will win. So I think these are all just side bonus objectives here. We have drones, mortars, and then I don't know what the terminal is tied to. Possibly some AA or other features. But terminal is tucked away back there at this little excavation site. We also have a bunch of bridges in play just to make sure that some areas aren't cut off. So we've got bridges on that side, and then this is more of a landed area, so that should be fine. Blue 4 and Op 4, it looks like they also have the option to teleport up to their sectors in the beginning. But let's go ahead and look at the drone objectives here. With everything, I'm just adjusting my audio levels right now because I don't know why OBS is being a pain with it. But otherwise, here we go. And then this is game number 2 of War Games number 5 because the first game was a few weeks ago. I just wasn't around to cover it. Alright. And I think they're search zones, so me as a spectator, I can see where they are specifically, but they have to kind of search these areas to figure them out, but, you know, it can only be within a few of those buildings. Let's go ahead and look at the assets both sides have. First, with our tasks, we'll probably see what everything's for specifically. So, hold the sector. It takes 120 seconds to capture the sector, and then you gain 1 point while being inside of it. Drones here, saw this in the beginning. It's basically for additional gear. And then terminal, I don't know what that does, but we'll see that come into play later. 2 sectors start on Op 4, 2 sectors on Blue 4. Brief for this one, 3,000 meters of render distance, 100 fortified points, so I think both sides can fortify some of their sectors a bit. And then this is with a 15-minute safe start, that would be 180 minutes, this is technically then a 3-hour event. Okay. Usually they wrap up a little before that, though, but alright, notes here, good God. 5th battle, game 2 for FNF War Games. Feedback is appreciated after the game. If you encounter any problems, I use the admin tool, press escape. There are 3 sectors in your base. Light blue can be used to teleport if you have the safe start orange. And the forward thing. And then red teleports you to the MSPs. That's a one-way ticket. Okay. Big-ass text. AO, small size fobs in towns and forests. Date of engagement, March 22nd, 2025. Hold on. So I think that is some of the sectors where they can teleport up to, maybe those positions, but they just don't count. Or they're going in them and already starting to secure them. Yeah, it's, okay, it's starting to secure already, so they can start the timer on them in the safe start. So Op4 will probably do the same to lock their sectors in. That, or maybe it's Blue 4 and Op 4 only get one, because I could have sworn I saw color on both of these sides, so we'll see if those change up as well. This could also be a one base sector for either side, and then they go in. But we have 15 minutes to figure this all out, and I can give you everything that we need here. But otherwise, continuing down here, clear to almost no wind, mission rules, FNF rules applies with addition of the following rules. You are allowed to lone wolf as long as you're following orders by command. One main squad are allowed per starting of the sectors. Players can teleport back and forth within the first 15 minutes. Echo 1-3 will need 3 players in a squad to operate start. Platoon leader, missile specialist, and assist missile specialist. Echo 1-3 can be left out. So that's the missile crew. Helicopters are allowed to leave the border play area, but no more than 500 meters over the edge. It's not allowed to build on top of buildings, blah, blah, blah. It's not allowed to steal. Okay, yep, you're not allowed to steal enemy radios or uniforms. Campaign or attacking enemy spawn bases is not allowed, which are the top right and bottom left of the map. It is not allowed to rearm the common objective with the rearm vehicles. So I think that means the drones, for example, can't be rearmed. Parameters, they're rocking their performance tweaks to try to cap that as best they can. Then you got the OCAP information there. Otherwise, list of abbreviations, so main battle tanks, infantry combat vehicles, APCs, armored wheeled vehicle, interesting. Combat boats, helicopters, assault rifle, machine gun, sniper rifle, automatic rifle. Alright, cool. So I think that was the notification for Op 4 to be taken. But otherwise, let's go ahead and look at what Blue 4 has. So, Blue 4 are Finnish defense forces for this scenario. Terminal is a 5-minute enemy location pane. Oh, so it's an uplink. So yeah, no, that's actually a really cool side objective. Cool. Otherwise, Finnish forces, they've got that. I think it's something 93. It's the Finnish version of an AK. I'm blanking on the exact name for it. But they've got their own auto rifles as well. Their version of the M72 Law, Mark 11 marksman rifles. Their version of the PKP, tow launchers, some tripods, Scar. I think that's Scar L's because the mag is slightly curved. Usually it's a face down for the box mag, and then some crew Vics. Otherwise, we have 2 transport vehicles, multiple cars, 4 CV-9030s, which are autocannon IFVs, 8 Land Rover transports, 4 Leo A62 tanks, 2 transport helicopters with miniguns, 2 sets of full triple R, some transport trucks, 3 transport little birds, 2 50 cal statics, and 2 high 240 statics. Op 4's kits, meanwhile, are Russian Spetsnaz, so AK-74s, RPKs, RPG-7s, GP-25s, SVDs, RPG-32s for the MAT team, some camoed AKs. I think both sides have a Special Forces group, RPG-26s, and then PP-2000s. They have a single KA-52, 4 BMP-3s. It looks like another full set of triple R and then a radio vehicle. Interesting. What are the radio vehicles for? I wonder. 4 T-90s, 8 UAZs, 2 PKM statics, 2 heavy hips. I don't see any rocket pods on them, though, so I think that's to match the enemy's transport. 2 cord tall statics, transport trucks, some KA-60s, and then some Gaz IFVs. Winter War 2.0, yeah, but modern day. Let's go ahead and look at our factions here. So Company HQ for Blue 4 is going to be Only Bone. Fawn's leading Alpha. He's got Crazy, Sancho, Snudge Bear, and Tom's in Alpha 1. Alpha 2 is Bursty, Daedalus, and Fancy. Bravo has Bravo and Bravo 1 merged together, so it's Nick, Dream, Kabubi, Carbiner, Timo, and Wayne. Bravo 2 has Eric and Tackleberry. Charlie has Nightmare, Breacher, Bordeaux, Bilbo, and Leonard. Delta has Kaiser, Nikita, Overdrive, Draper Hard, TK Light, Nap Label, and Vovkodov. Echo 1 has Rolling, Nakomata, and Kaden. Echo 2 has Ember Rose and John Miller. Echo 3 has Whiplash, Iander, and Wise. Foxtrot has Yanni, Cullis, Puma, Adriano, and Nemesis. Maybe. Dude, Sun, Watts, Killer J, and Oddball, Wiki, Korch, Krzyzewski, and Giovanni. And Golf 1, the previous group was Foxtrot 2. Golf 2 has Elias, Spotty, and Nikita. Wiki Finn being one pilot, and Katz being the other pilot. Op 4 is being commanded by Patriot. We have Jivu as the Alpha lead, with Alpha 1 having Democles, Overlord, Turth, and Sambi. Bravo has Erickson, Bates, and Skoland. Bravo 1 has Montgomery, Katak, Riley, and Harrington. Bravo 2 has Nuttall, Herb, McKee, Cropwell, and Frank. Charlie being led by Grab, with Fresno as a marksman. And then we skip all the way down to Echo, with Tito and Ghost Meth being led by FPS. Additional items have been unintentionally changed due to the respawn timer being 30 seconds instead of 5 minutes. Okay. Interesting. Neat. Curie and a Peasant being an Echo 1. Echo 3 has Dot, Marstek, and France. Foxtrot being led by Naso, with Lolo, Rizbo, Zixme, Kremet, Fetty, and Depso. Codsworth and Foxtrot 2 with Sniper and Mr. Unknown. Uncone, technically. Olaf and Lolo being one vehicle crew, and Golf 1. Golf 2 has Waldo and Andre. Hotel 1 has Crisper and Seeks. And then Hotel 2 has Russian Husky, and then we have a random Alpha 2 member, Killer Switch. Turn my render distance up to maximum here. Looking at the fobs, we have that KA-52 on display. Looks like she's got a rocket pod with her cannon, and then a gun pod there. Not sure if that cannon has any ammo, though. Here's the KA-60s for transports. Here are those MI-8 heavies. They have the PKTs on the front, left side, and right rear, but no rocket pods. Here are those radio cars here. And then we've got the tanks, the IFVs, the copies of Triple R already, some of the BMP-3s taken. And then up here at that little forward position, we have the transport cars and the trucks. Eerily quiet when we get up to that spot. Looks like Blue 4 have gotten into both of their sectors and are starting to grab points. Actually, Blue 4 hasn't grabbed Sector 11 yet, so they still need someone to do that. I think it's going to really be a matter of who has, you know, a majority on the sectors, though. And then Blue 4, over at their frontline position, we have their trucks, cars, and Humvees. And then their back position, they have their armor, their IFVs, and their helicopters. So here's their main transports, where we have some side-mounted M134s. We have the MH6 Little Birds, and then they... Oh, shit. That is an AH-1Z with the chain gun, 2 rocket pods, and a heavy cannon there. That's, I think, a GAU-19... No, that's probably a 12.7 chain gun, looking at the ammo size. We also have a jet. It's a Gripen. But it's not armed, so it's purely a scouting asset. Interesting call there. We got their full sets of Triple R here. We have their tanks as well. These things are fat, Jesus. And then you got their IFVs. I didn't see any of that for Op 4, though, in terms of a jet, so I don't know if that's just a set piece or a bonus or whatnot. But alright, so we've got those sectors technically being captured. So Blue 4 has 2, Op 4 has 2, and then we've got multiple positions here where one of these caches, I think the southern cache has extra drones. The northern cache has, if we look in the details here, we can check again, a mortar. And then 30 seconds to safe start ends. All right. If they capture this terminal, it pings enemy positions every 5 minutes, which could be very useful from an operative standpoint. We'll see if anything blitzes down to try and take that. But otherwise, the focus will be the sectors. It is 3 life for both sides. This is apparently a 3-hour fight. We'll see how things go. Bets are still going to go for a while because I doubt that game will change within 15 minutes. You'll see a lot of maneuvering. Maybe a little bit of early on combat, but this is the full map. We'll see how things go. Looking at the southern Op 4 sector, we have one of their statics right there. They've got some minor fortifications around, but otherwise they're pretty good for right here. Looking at the more northern sector here, we have another static cord. Squad is building some defenses around. Cool. Looking at the Blue 4 sector here, they got into this one a little late. This is just a classic composition we see of random fortification with a lot of forest around. And then the northern area at Sector 7, more urban. And it looks like they brought up quite a few statics around here. Blue 4 beelining it to the destroy objective area. Op 4 beelining up to the other one. We'll see what happens to these caches. Again, northern one's a mortar, southern ones are drones, so... Malin, if you're here, what type of drones do they get? Or he might be playing right now, so... We'll see what they pull out of the caches. Blue 4, meanwhile, already has a helicopter booking it out of the zone. Not sure if they're going to try to rush a sector or if they're going to go for the terminal site. Op 4 has a helicopter loaded. They haven't left their safe zone area. Most of the vehicles are starting to deploy out. KA-52 also leaving. I just want to verify that is the KA-52. Yep. A little bit of a late engine start from my perspective. And then Blue 4, we have mobilization of a few vehicles here. Some are being left behind, maybe because they're intercepting some other stuff, but it looks like they're taking out 2 of their tanks already. And Op 4 is bringing out a BMP and a single tank, and they're also moving Triple R up. So Blue 4 doubling down on their armor as an early start. Op 4 being more conservative, taking 1 IFV and 1 tank. KA-52 has rocket pod, just AR-2s, that's fair, Mal. But the KA-52 has a rocket pod, it's side gun, and then a 50 cal chain gun on the side. Yeah, that gun is active because we see it moving, so. So Kremet has a sniper rifle here, that's a 12.7. So some of these guys do have some pretty deadly firepower. Meanwhile, this is one of those heavier transports. They do have M134 miniguns they could potentially pursue. But Little Bird is landing. They're going to go take the terminal site. Again, that gives them Op 4's position every 5 minutes it gets pinged. So I want to see if this helicopter potentially goes in to try to engage that. Otherwise, they might be going for a southern landing to move into the zone. That helicopter we see trying to find an LZ over here, probably to then land forces and move them into Sector 11. Yeah, these guys probably not going to risk it because they got 18 people on the bird. But after they land, they might then try to do a flyby. This is a 3-hour match. So it's 1 life per hour. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Alright, they're landing back here. And here we see them dismounting. I'm not sure that's going to leave anyone on the chain guns, but oh well. Cat is now going to just pull the vehicle out here. Looking over at Op 4. Oh. Thought I clicked the bird. Oh, because they died. The chopper. Ha! Well, that's not good. Early losses, chopper went down to, I guess, mechanical issues. I think he came down too hard and he just somehow flipped the chopper over. Well, that's unfortunate. And now we do have a car driving up. It's still over 1 kilometer away, though I doubt it sees the smokestack. They are the one of the Echo teams, which I think are their medium anti-tank group, so... Oops. Yeah, he bellied it somehow. Blue 4, though, we see them with a very strong group going for that position, and if these guys do come and take the terminal, they're going to know where Op 4 is. So I'd say Blue 4 early on, they're looking pretty good. Still have another 12 or so minutes to place bets. You never know what might be able to turn around. We could see the KA-52 be a workhorse tonight, plus we have a massive Op 4 group that could potentially hit Sector 7 because it looks like a lot of Blue 4 are committed to the south at the moment, so things could still turn around. But in this specific snapshot, it does look like Blue 4 is at a little bit of an advantage. I'm not sure if the mortar... Okay, the doors got opened and backpacks got switched, so they did take a mortar. Yep, so these three have the mortar here. We'll see if they deploy it somewhere and start using it. I'd say Blue 4... I mean, with two supporting tanks coming in, Blue 4 is in a pretty good spot. Now, you still have that smoke billow going. I wonder if these guys are going to run into it. Pretty sure that AK is like an RK98 or something, but feel free to correct me on that. We see some red dots on him. RK94. Damn, I was close. But yeah, they see the down chopper here. But it looks like everyone burnt to a crisp inside, so there's no gear to loot. Meanwhile, we have an Op4 car coming in. I don't think it's going to spot these groups of infantry coming in. Looks like they're trying to set up some sort of pincer-style attack on this southern sector here. RK95, yeah. I knew it was an RK something. I knew it was in the 90s. I just couldn't remember the exact designation, but it's the Finnish AK. But I think to be NATO compliant, it's in 5.56. But correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, so Blue 4 have a straight shot to get their forces in the center of the zone. Op 4 still have a little bit of a trail to go in with, but we see them working that triple R. Terminal... I'm not sure if they've hacked it yet. I haven't seen a pop-up about it. That'd be pretty interesting, though, to hack it and then, like, keep a guy or two here and then just set up mines and listen to YouTube videos. We do have the KA-52 coming on station, though. It might have spotted the Little Bird on radar, because it looks like it is potentially tracking it. Otherwise, I would think... No, right here might be our first point of contact between the groups. We got 3 Blue 4 on defense, 5 Op 4 slowly pushing up, watching multiple different angles here. Though I don't think Op 4 have the numbers to actually take the sector. Or at least they don't think they do, but it's a possibility. So KA-52 doing a pass. Unsure if it'll spot any of the infantry. MH6 Little Bird's already bailing. We have some transport trucks heading to the south that could be to back up this force. BMP-3 is going to drive by, might get intercepted. Iander does have AT, and it is a Carl Gustav, so that would be something that could eliminate that BMP-3. But what's worse is... we have a lot of triple RVICs also coming up, so this could be a pretty nasty ambush, because Op 4 only get 2 sets of triple R for this entire 3-hour fight. And it looks like they're at least going to come up to this crossing point, maybe that one, and that's where Blue 4 are. So if they successfully get an intercept here, you're going to start hearing that BMP soon. Yeah, they might take the right. Puma's got light anti-tank. They could ambush it. It is coming up to that crossing. It stopped at the worst place it could stop. They take an AT hit. They take a second AT hit, and it did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. There's a truck up there, though. What is this, a radio truck? Yep, so they're trying to book it away. It is 762? Gotcha. Okay. I thought it was, but I just couldn't remember if it was NATO compliant or not. I am kind of shocked that this did not cook off, that the armor actually took it. I know the only thing I can think of is they got 2 rear hits, which didn't do anything. But, I mean, one of those in my mind should have been able to kill it, but oh well. I think a BMP, like one of the 4 IFEs that OPFOR has that is a juicy target to hit, I'm just kind of chuckling that, you know, they put 2 they put 2 M72s in it and it did nothing except damage it. But that can be fully fixed with RRR, so at that point, who knows? So that's cut off these forces from getting into the zone. Meanwhile, Blue 4's armor is getting right into the AO. They'll be able to box down these areas. Not sure if there was any contact over here. I'm going to quickly check kill counts. I don't see anything, so I think the Blue 4 guys broke away, and they're just going to play defensive, and we've got Blue 4 armor now in the zone to cover. IFE backed up. It looks like they're going to be doing field repairs. Yeah, all right, we can see that both of the rounds went into the crew compartment, which is on the rear here. So that basically prevented this from cooking off. If they were a little bit more forward, it would have hit right into the turret chassis and had completely taken it out. So it just near misses. For vehicles like that, you do have to prioritize where you hit it. So they're going to move on. Maybe they'll have the Echo team go hunting, but at this point, just keep them together and then, you know, set up ambushes for the sector for vehicles to come in. Yeah, the tracks are bugging out. Not much you can do about that. We do have an Echo AT gunner back here. If Blue 4 is able to take that AT asset, that would greatly bolster them in Op 4 elements coming in. Hold on. KA-60 is being pushed by the Cobra here, and the Cobra did just score a hit. Doesn't seem to be enough, though. Cobra's diving. We do have another helicopter here, potentially trying to find an LZ. It only has a few guys. I think they didn't see the Blue 4 infantry down there. Cobra is still pursuing. Op 4 is trying to run back to their base. I think Katz is going to break off because he knows what they're doing. Fair enough. They also already have a kill here, so I'm wondering if that was part of the group here. But all 5 of them are listed, so I think it's already done a strafing run somewhere on Blue 4 and scored a kill in that regard. So with that helicopter being in this zone, these guys have pulled back. Blue 4 have to have control of this terminal by now. Like, someone would have interacted with it, so they do have updates on Op 4's positions every 5 minutes. Now I'm going to be curious to see where this chopper lands and what Blue 4 might do about it. This is a soon event for FNF, which is a Saturday event. 3 lives, 3 hours, 1 large round, multiple armored and air assets. Just something different, you know? They are more spread out than usual. It's about a little over 100 players. There's multiple objectives. It's all about the sectors. These destroy objectives are just marked caches for getting additional gear. Blue 4 have their hands on a mortar. I'm not sure if Op 4 ever ran in and grabbed the drones that were in here, so this is still technically up for grabs. Hearing the tank fire. I can't tell if it's firing at a... Yeah, it's firing at a sector over here. So they're destroying all the buildings that Op 4 could potentially hide in. Got a bit more Blue 4 coming up on this zone. They haven't spotted any of the Op 4 yet. They got an AT guy watching the flank as well. Got one Gaz also cutting through, but we do have Nemesis over here. He's a spec op dude with a Scar L with a big-ass scope on it and a suppressor. That's cute. I think you just heard that vehicle drive by. That's 7 Op 4 guys moving around this zone. Tanks spawn with their full munition, and there's set to triple R for them to fall back to, so ammo I don't think is too much of an issue. But here, I can fact-check that real quick. Yeah, so ammo, fuel, repair. So both tanks probably have their full complement. So Op 4 has a pretty solid line on the back, but they're probably going to be setting up a lot of forces to try to take the northernmost sector. Meanwhile, Blue 4, I'd say, is definitely closer in the AO. Probably going to cap the southern sector. This could all fall apart, though, and Op 4 just beats Blue 4 out in the PvP. It's hard to say at the moment. Razor, are you free in a few hours? I might do some DayZ from 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tonight to 10 o'clock before Stillwater. You are? Alright, just making sure. Might deploy some new sound bites. Have some fun. Alright, K-52 I think landed. It's doing some repairs back at base, unless they crash landed it. Hope they didn't. Nope, she's good. So they're giving her a rearm. Got the ammo Vic back there, and then the repair Vic right there. It would be interesting to watch a Little Bird running spotter duty for the AH-1Z. Now it might come in and do a strike on the sector over here. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. No kills, but that's at least peppering the AO. Meanwhile, the tanks are peppering the other sector under Op 4's control, but Op 4 have a lot of forces just spread out in various other areas. I didn't see man pads on either side, which was interesting, but you'd imagine there's probably at least 1 or 2 guys around with him, probably within the Echo teams. And then Foxtrot are our command team, so these guys are the suppressed dudes with a bit of light AT. Yeah, okay, so Echo 3 here has a man pad. Echo 2 has an RPG 32, and Echo 1 probably also has an RPG 32. So there's where your man pads are. They had the choice on putting stuff down. And then Blue 4 just developed a lot more with their Foxtrot teams. Echo 3 has a Maz, Echo 2 has a Maz, Echo 1 all have Mazes. So they had the choice of what to bring. So now we see them potentially ranging more AT shots on the zone. They just want to keep them suppressed. And then we have a group over here. I think they're checking the down chopper. Oop. That's the mortar getting assembled, so they're unloading the bodies. They might grab additional gear here, because that's a spare AT launcher. And that's a sniper rifle. So yeah, these guys are probably coming up to collect the heavy weapons. It looks like they also had a drone. Yeah, so that's why they just... So yeah, no, so if we check them, they all have one on them. So, that's the group that died in the chopper. They're coming up to grab all their heavy weapons again. We have a BMP driving south. It's the same BMP that took 2 hits earlier. You can still see where those 2 impacted, but they got a majority of that vehicle repaired. They were driving up with some triple Rs. They probably got it fully repaired, which means these 2 gunners here probably aren't going to be able to do anything. Okay, so Blue 4 never hacked it. They were just waiting to do it, so that's going to be a 5-minute timer. No Op 4 are around to take it, though. So after that hack is completed, then Blue 4 will know Op 4's positions every 5 minutes. We might see another attempted intercept, or they're going to call for the medium anti-tank gunner to come and take it out. He's got it ranged. It's a 450-meter shot and gaining because it's moving left to right. But otherwise, it looks like it's moving south to kind of reinforce Sector 3 at the moment. It's positions every 30 seconds for 5 minutes. So is it then a one and done, Malin? So timing matters most? Okay, so they only get that benefit for 5 minutes. Gotcha. Which is probably why they're kicking it off, because they want to use this as a moment to take things out. So these guys are going to be denying any QRF that comes down, and then these guys are going to be the main assault team. I see. I'm so very tired. I feel that, man. Now we got some Op 4 guys moving around. Eric is close by, but he's looking in an opposite direction. He could get walked up on here. I think Ghostmeth spotted him. He's looking super skittish. Probably because he's on meth. Tackle might be about to walk up on him. Eric's still looking around. I think Ghost thinks he sees a vehicle out there or something. These guys have no idea they're within 100 meters of each other, but that's the power of PvP, Fog of War. Meanwhile, out here we got Grab trying to line a GL up on these guys. That one went a little far. Fresno can't tell if he just got a kill or not. Azariah is running around the flank here. He's got a great flank on him. Knocks Grab down, pops a nade. That goes a little far. It was a smoke. That grenade gets a pretty bad bounce on him. Throws another one. That one's going to get right on Grab and probably kill him. Fresno's able to pull away. He's trying to find a flanking solution on Azariah. Meanwhile, you got Eric. I think he noticed Ghostmeth over there now, because Tackleberry tipped him off about it. Fresno's booking it north, and Azariah is pulling away. Puma's still okay. So, what were the final bets, by the way, for Blue 4 to Op 4? Ghostmeth found a tree that he likes. Looking back, looks like the K-52 is coming into the AO. 57 seconds left on that hack. 6 people on Blue 4. 6-6 with 70,000 point total. All right. Eric slowly walking up on him. 2 taps him. Tito's not really reacting to it. FPS Freak is, though. We definitely have Op 4 trying to do a flank around on the Sector 7, but Blue 4 is in a better position. However, when that hack is finished, they're going to see all these units up here, and they're going to probably change their forces to hold a bigger defense on that zone. Then you got this Spec Op team back here. We do have a few Blue 4 guys back here as rear security. Eric's throwing some smoke grenades up here. Maybe with a frag, yep. They're thinking he was with other people. Yeah, right, free RPG 32. From here, we're going to see a slow sandwich of the AO here. Now they're doing some wild spray. Can't tell if that was that FPS freak or something else, but FPS is taking fire from additional Blue 4 on this angle. FPS, I think, is popping some smokes to try to cover himself so he can crawl away. And you still have Tito looking out here instead of focus. Okay. Tough choices for Op4 there. Meanwhile, we have a Gaz driving by. Killer J hasn't heard it yet, otherwise he'd pull his AT out. These three are staying back here as rear security. We have one of the tanks RTBing probably to grab Triple R. And then Blue 4, they've done their job, so they're going to get picked up by a chopper and pulled out, but the KA-52 is still marauding around. Fresno backed away at least 500 meters now turning around to try to see if Blue 4 will pursue, but I think Blue 4 is going to go for the objective now in some sort of pincer attack. Tackleberry picked up the RPG-32, good call. Now just a slow push to these two Op4 players. Tito still... Oh, now he's looking up. All right. Shots just went out, and there goes FPS as Nick pushed his position and took him out. It was one of the radio men. Actually, no, the radio man, and then we have an ammo bear with another RPG-32 over here. I think he spotted Ash and started shooting him. However, Eric is now suppressing from the left. Now we've got Wayne and Nick honing in on his position, though. So if we watch right, we'll eventually see Wayne and Nick get behind this rock right here and take him out. IFV started engaging something, might have spotted enemies through the trees and fired at him, but I don't see any follow-on shots. Helicopter flying overhead. Wayne is pushing, he sees the smoke out there. He's gonna run right into Tito. One headshot. Okay, nah, but I thought I was a little worried he was gonna run up and try to do something cheeky, but no, he just walked up and put the shots down, so that's good. RPG-32 to capture, giving these guys more AT to deal with this fat thing. Meanwhile, Blue 4 doing a massive counter push to the other sector right into an Op4 battle line. Not a good spot to be in. I think Bates is about to put a Hunt IR round up, though. Or no, he sees that one. If that's not yours, dude, you should be in a tree hiding. Or he might be looking in the interface right now. And he probably just heard the radio call that they're being pushed. But Blue 4 literally in the middle of a battle line. They're about to have some pretty nasty enfilading fire delivered on them. A little worried about Blue 4 in this position. One taken out immediately by Capwell. Very unlucky to have that. We do have two Blue 4 on the rear that could potentially start flanking around, but it's going to be at the cost of all the Blue 4 guys here. They're down to 4. Got some additional Op4 flanking around as well. Walked right into this ambush. That's going to create a massive gap for Op4 to potentially go over and take the sector if they decide to take the sector. BMP on the south is pushed up. Beautiful GL right there. Crazy took him out, though, but Snodge Pair's down. Crazy's getting popped. Capwell, I think, is trying to hit him from the rear. He's going prone, resting his weapon. Putting more shots on Crazy. Ran out of ammo. The sight lines aren't one-to-one. Herb is pushing up. Crazy still moving around right here. Taking more shots in the ass, and he gets knocked. And double tap. Snodgebear wakes back up. Fancy, I think, is trying to crawl up to Capwell's position. John Miller, if he looks, he'll see this. He does. But someone else gets the headshot before he can. That might have been Snodgebear turning around and getting it. Ember Rose, meanwhile, runs into Herb. And manages to get the shots. Herb got one out, but I think he missed. Snodgebear gets identified and taken out. We got Op 4 reinforcements coming up too. Blue 4 in the back. Now it's an even fight. One of the Blue 4 guys just went down, though. Or no, one of the Op 4, at least I think. But it's 3-3 now. Spoke too soon. 2-3. We have these additional 4 coming in. 2 Blue 4 on the rear. Just a big flanking play at this point. I think Blue 4 scrapped what, not scrapped, but they got what they could out of that ambush. Yeah, they went into an ambush and they took casualties, but now they're taking out a good chunk of Op 4 here. There's only one more Blue Op 4 player left, though. Spots Ember, puts some shots down. Ember rolls away. Frank, I think, was a little too skittish moving out of that position. Gets knocked to his feet. Ember could follow up with a grenade. We have some additional Op 4 shooting by McLee here, and that knocks Ember out. More Op 4 pushing in. Blue 4, though, close behind. This is Fonz, though. Pretty good PvPer. He might have seen these Op 4 members already moving in. He's going to have some Op 4 move right on his position. I don't think he realizes it, though. He's running right. Oh, there's a bush in the way. Katak stops. Fonz runs right into him. Yeah. Full auto aim for the head. Harrington gets spotted. Doesn't realize that's Fonz. He thought that was a friendly. Fonz fires through the bush and gets him too. Now you got the 2 Op 4 that were coming into assist now looking north. But they were able to get the knockouts on the remaining Blue 4 players. Fonz now pushing away. Massive back and forth here, but now I'm not sure if Op 4 realizes they have a straight shot to the sector. On paper, though, they're going to think it's fortified. So, Pyrrhic victory for Op 4. They took a lot of casualties with this one, though, but they're able to make ground and then get to the sector. Blue 4, meanwhile, I'm seeing a very big lack of action. Charges up here got detonated. I think that was Fonz panicking. This shows me that Blue 4 intends to have to come back and take the zone, though, because they're going all in on the south. What concerns me is Blue 4 strategy right now. They're not going for the sector, as you would think. Instead, we have a Blue 4 team running around back here and interdicting, I guess going for kills to cause attrition to Op 4, but it's not that successful. We do have Grav driving in, though. He's already died once, though, so if he gets intercepted here, that'll be a second death. But it's a matter of can Blue 4 take him out. A UAZ driving in is a juicy target, but it looks like it's going to be up to the AT gunners over here to make that. Azariah is prepping his M72 here, but Grav is choosing here to dismount. I'm not sure if it's because he was told there was something in here, but now Blue 4 just going to slowly encircle his position. Got a K-52 flying overhead. No, that's a K-60, my bad. Well, the reason Blue 4 looks outnumbered is because they also have a bunch of forces around out here, and then we have an Op 4 force. I guess they're going to watch the MSR because they want to camp it or something? I don't know. I thought that was against the rules, though. Grav walks up, spot slip, Whiplash gets the knockout on him. Immediately takes fire and gets taken out by Yanni, and then we just had an AT round go in, and it sniped the helicopter. Azariah got that kill. So they ambushed a helicopter landing on the zone here. You've got Op 4 Command back here doing some medical, because I guess he caught some shrapnel with that. Op 4 slowly moving to the northern zone. I'm kind of surprised these guys haven't moved up to this area. I think what they're doing is Blue 4 honing in on all the forces here because the terminal, when it was completed, showed them all the infantry was over here. So instead of now going for this sector, they just have this rear group trying to engage all the Op 4 infantry they can because they're all broken apart. So I think Blue 4 switched their strategy from the sectors for kills, knowing that since this is a 3-life op, if they can kill everybody in the sector and at least get them down a life in ambushes, that will give them an edge. Because the points tied to the sector doesn't really matter if you at least have 3 of the sectors, so I think by only guarding one sector with the mortar, they spread Op 4 out much more so that they can continue to do these ambushes with small groups. That's what I'm thinking. So NASA just trying to move into the zone. I think he got immediately pulled back because he's trying to cross the line. Ah, he's putting AT mines on the road. That's evil. Alright, I saw that they got pushed out of the zone. I mean, at this point, they're literally just mining an MSR, and there's so many options that Blue 4 can take to leave. So, alright, this I kind of agree with. Right, rare to see mine news, exactly. And this is a massive buffer zone to the spawn anyway. So mining just outside of the roads, because they're using one MSR, I mean, I could imagine seeing Blue 4 do something to, like, that stretch of road as well, and then maybe that stretch of road. So no, I retract my statement. I think that's fair game. I was just worried they were going to, like, camp out here the entire game. Which they might still, but, you know, with the mines. But they don't have enough units out here to do outright attrition, plus... Well, I mean, with the AT mines, they're definitely focusing on taking out the tanks, so... Who knows? So this is a group of undeployed infantry. They don't have a death yet. Fancy does have a death, though. Because, again, Blue 4 took some casualties on that side. Op 4 we now see in the sector. I think a way to deny that style of attrition is if you take all 4 sectors, you just automatically win after, like, 5 minutes. That way you don't have styles like this, but at the same time, I can also see the merit in having something like this where people are going for kills. That's just coming from someone that really likes to see fast-paced action rather than, you know, a drawn-out 3-hour engagement. Because it can be very, very slow when you do attrition fights. Fresno trying to find some Blue 4 people to potentially pick off. He immediately gets spotted and engaged. Took 3 bullets there. He's crippled, though. And as he rolls away, he takes 2 more shots and is double tapped by Nemesis. Because he's got this big, fat fucking scope on his gun. I mean, if Op 4 continue to trickle only, like, you know, a few guys to this big Blue 4 group, of course they're going to pick people off. Now I guess they're trying to move the tank around. But this group also has Iander. And 9 out of 10 times Iander performs. 4 out of 5. Now they also have a UAZ, though. Oh, this... Stolen AT. He's still bleeding, by the way, but now they're just gonna pop it in the ass. Though that is the crew compartment back there, so if it's fully repaired, a single shot might not hit it. Well, no, where's the exhaust vent? Because that indicates where the engine is, so that might actually be the engine right there. So yeah, that 2 shots literally missed 2 vital systems. They just hit it. Yep, that's the engine. All right, so that just disabled it. They were hitting it because it started engaging Blue 4 forces. I don't think it hit anybody to kill them. And now you see them trying to turn the engine back on. They're going to open the hatches and get out. And they're immediately ambushed as the vehicle cooks off and takes them out. I don't think Dream here has to worry about double tapping that. Now you got some Op 4 reinforcements trying to sprint over here. Maybe they'll catch some Blue 4 guys off course. Killer's moving slow here, trying to make sure he sees everything. I'm going to be honest, if there's an active firefight, I think he should just move tree to tree and catch up with them, but I appreciate the caution. Oh, it's hard to tell with the amount of Blue 4 here if they will... if they'll be able to take this southern zone, though. With the other group, they had the numbers, but if Blue 4 plays well, as I say that, we see a Blue 4 knockout here. Good knock on Killer switch. Looks like he took a few shots from that fight, though. You have to climb over the engine to get to the dismount compartment. Gotcha. Yeah, so those 2 side rounds just hit the crew compartment, but there's nobody in there, so. Jivu looks like he was just firing up the ridge. Maybe he thought he saw something. Timo woke back up and immediately gets knocked out again. I think Killer Switch is going to double tap. I can't see the rounds impacting, though. GL goes out as a guess. Got some rounds going on Daedalus, who tried to poke his head out of this barn here. That is bait for GLs to hit in there and kill everybody inside. More GLs from Carboneer here with the 320 secondary system. The almighty tube. Now you got Op 4 making a defensive line. They have their tank. They called for Iander to come up here. If they have a line from there, this is only a 217-meter shot. I mean, this is easy for Iander. Let's see him take it. Tank just fired point blank. You can see it right there. Easy. He points it. Shot goes out. Hit is dead on. And we got some knockouts in the vehicle. Engine still active. Nope, engine is not active. Needs a follow-on shot. Iander happy to provide, and it cooks off anyway. Never mind. Little worried about the Blue 4 here because now they're starting to get in a concave attack, and we saw what happened to the last Blue 4 group that ended up in a concave attack. On the receiving end specifically, Blue 4, meanwhile, they've mobilized some forces to head north to retake that sector. I think this is going to kill off all these guys, and those guys aren't going to be able to beat out the rest. Meanwhile, mine check. Looks like Blue 4 found the mines and are starting to disarm them. I don't know how they found the mines, but... I'm willing to bet this car was driving, and then they just found them here, and then were able to pull off the road, and now the infantry are dismounting to take them out. That's probably what happened. People actually paid attention. It happens. Alright, Wayne got knocked out. Nick's working on him. Helicopters. K-52 is being engaged by the AH-1Z again. I think for timing-wise, we start at the 180 mark, which means 42 minutes have gone by. I mean, at that rate, it means within the last, like, 10 minutes of the round, Op4 won't have any armor, but at that point, I don't think it really matters. But I think it is bad that both armored assets for Op4 in the zone got taken out immediately, and they'll need to spend another, 5 minutes getting back in the zone. Where do you see the BMP-3 moving? AH-1Z, meanwhile, pursuing the KA-52, and it's going to probably cause him to make wave off of the zone again. Even at this range, you just can't get the proper lead on it. He's got 534 rounds remaining. But yeah, 52 is just booking it back to base, so they're getting pushed out. Meanwhile, checking back on this zone here, Blue 4 took a massive amount of casualties here. Ghost Meth came back and got a knockout there. Meanwhile, sector is under contention for the northern side. It looks like the garrison left the sector to fight that. Ghostmeth woke up and double tapped that body. Wayne misses Ghostmeth as he runs off. Might find an angle on him through the bushes. Ghostmeth goes prone. Does Wayne decide to frag? No. But yeah, Blue 4, they're pulling away from the zone. They took too many casualties on this assault because the other half decided to go for kills instead of the objective. We have another team now mobilizing to head south here. Patriot looks like he tried to push in. That grenade's going to double tap up, and there he goes. Still have some Op4 trickling around this group here. Looks like the sector's going back and forth under control because Blue 4 are coming in and out of the zone. It's Kiri and Peasant staying in this bunker here. Yeah, looking at what you're saying, Angel, and then all of a sudden we hear 4 grenades go off here and just saw a grenade double tap a dude. It's all situational, baby. So I think Bursty just tried to get an angled shot on one of those guys, but missed. Now you got Op4 looking back at that doorway. He's waiting for him to poke out. He just saw him briefly do it. He's trying to bait him out. I'm going to be honest, I take this RPG-32, and I would just hit that dude in the face. Grenade goes in and gets a double knockout. Oh! Grenade damages that building. Will Op4 wake up in time? No! The GL finishes one guy off as the other guy gets shook and awake from it. Uh-oh. That was clean. All right, Blue 4 going to retake that northern sector. Looking back over here, Blue 4 are finding more Op4 elements around. This is Grav's last life, by the way. So if Grav dies here, that's GG for him. And we haven't even been through a full hour of this zone. You have the helicopters still pursuing each other. Catch just tried to do a rocket run on that reinsert bird. Now the 52's pursuing him. Grav booking it, realizing that, yeah, this is his last life, so he needs to be careful. And it looks like Blue 4 have repelled a majority of the infantry that were pushing on them. Reinsert. I'm going to laugh my ass off if Husky just, like, flies away, realizing he just dropped off a dude. Ooh, AH-1Z just took some pretty nasty hits there. AH-1Z not looking good right now. He's going to have to RTB. He's got way too much damage on him. At least he's not on fire, so he won't cook off. He's trying to avoid the KA-52. KA-52, meanwhile, has him now. Gunner's got him on the scope. Can't seem to get him. Might have just knocked the bird, actually. Cat's auto rotates out. Yep, nope. Engine went dead. This means Op4 now has air superiority for the rest of this AO. Unless Cats can do a quick engine repair and fly out of here. Op4 would be very foolish not to finish off this vehicle while they have a chance. You see him looking. Guncam has him lined up. Rockets go in. And there's the finish off, Rockets. And the vehicle's completely toast. Alright, Op4 officially has air superiority now. Wayne, meanwhile, on 4 kills and a vehicle kill, he is holding out on his own in the zone. Alright, I mean, that could change the game with Op4 having air superiority, and you also have to add that in that Blue 4 is not fielding any AA rocket teams at the moment, or AA missile teams. So if Op4 realizes the advantage they have, this is going to get ugly and one-sided very quickly. The only thing Blue 4 could potentially do is on their respawns change their AT teams out for some better assets. They're striking it again just to make sure. They get it on fire. Yeah, there it goes. It is officially dead. Oh, cool, and it appeared with pylons that didn't have earlier. Ain't that neat? Wayne got another kill. He's crawling away. Tito on his second life. He's looking around. He's taking some long-range fire, though. And the northern sector is now back under Blue 4 control again. I think there's a bit of blue on blue going on. Ember... Maybe they see stuff all the way up there? It's hard to say. Maybe there was an Op4 guy up there. Who knows? Mortar firing. That and a bunch of AT mines. That's cute. Hard to say what they're striking now. We got a tank doing Overwatch. Op4 vehicle starting to re-enter the zone. A little worried about that IFE because we do have some infantry around, but oh, nope, they have that RPG-32 they stole, so they would still be good. Whoop. That is unlucky. That is incredibly unlucky. I very, very rarely see mortars actually kill anybody in Arma 3 PvP, let alone land literally at their feet and insta-kill them like that. Wow. And then Tito's now on his last life. That's just, damn. Holy shit. Quite unfortunate. Alright, let's start doing some life checks here. So Fawns hasn't died yet. He's up 3 kills. Crazy's died once. Sancho's died once. Snodgebear got a kill, died once. There's a group that got concave ambushed. All these guys have died once. One of them got a kill. Nick has died once. Has gotten 2 kills. Kerbing has gotten a death. Wayne hasn't died once, has an armor kill and 5 infantry kills. He's a hotshot right now. Dobbs has died. Dream not only died, but he killed a friendly. Silly Dream. Eric on a kill. These guys haven't been committed to anything yet. Same with those guys. Nekomata's on 2. Good for him. Ember Rose is on a death, but on 2. John Miller has died twice. That's unfortunate. Whiplash up a kill. Iander's on no kills because I think the AT just cooked off the remaining crew. Wise has a kill. Cullis on none. Nemesis on 2. Adriano on none. Azariah on 2 and 1 death. He died recently because he's back at base. He also got that aircraft snipe. Dewidson's died once. Watts on 1. Killer J's killed 3 but died once. We hear drones going off as well. Oddball killed 1, died once. Wiki Quartz has died once. Grishowski's died once. So this vehicle's died once. So I gotta wonder where they died. We also have Blue 4 kind of hunting down Op 4 positions here. That's what these guys are doing. So Golf 2 hasn't run into anything yet. They saw an ass and they popped a grenade up to him. He gets spotted and immediately taken out. Good God. Alright, Cats died once, but he did get a kill while in the bird. Wiki hasn't died yet. We already covered the tank crew. And then Command has been sticking around at base, commanding from the rear, but yeah, so far so good. Meanwhile, let's look at Op 4. Patriots died once as Command. Jivu hasn't been touched yet. He's been holding the base. Alpha 1 has a few people that have died once. Bates has gotten a kill and died once. Sholin's died once. Some of Bravo 1 has also died once. A big chunk of Bravo 2 has died once, but they've gotten some kills. So Capwell and McKee both got 2 kills. Nice. This is a little worrisome because we have 2 elements of Charlie here. The Command, the elements have both died twice. Everyone in that group has died twice. Kiri and Peasant have died twice. This group hasn't died once. NASA's group has died a mix of once and twice. Fetty's died 3 times, but he's still going back. One of them might have been a debug issue. Codsworth has a friendly kill, but he's engaging Blue 4 at the moment. Lolo's gotten 3 kills, but I think, so this shows me, I think this vehicle killed one of the Blue 4 tanks earlier and we missed it. But then they got intercepted by Iander. This other vehicle crew has died once. Crisper died once. No. He's gotten an aircraft kill. He was the gunner of that. And then Sux has also been getting some good gunnery kills too. They intercepted a ground vehicle and took it out. That's probably where they got the 4. And then one of the pilots has died twice, but he's also gotten a few kills. I don't know what he was doing. And then Killer Switch is on. Ooh, he's in trouble. So yeah, seems like Op 4 within the next 30 minutes are probably going to fully lose some of their guys because they have at least 2 to 3 groups that have died twice. Blue 4 still have a good chunk of forces that haven't even died once yet. So attrition-wise, Blue 4 is doing a lot better. It looks like they're now trying to find where that Blue 4 group is because they're just doing a massive rear assault onto Sector 1. Op 4, meanwhile, have rallied a big force to head over to Sector 7 again. They've got a sandwiching force on the other side. Blue 4 doing this massive flank out, I guess, to then push in later, but yeah, and then you got Blue 4 kind of combing these areas to see if there's any other spec ops there. So we could see Op 4 do a massive counterattack here. We got something on fire over here. Looks like a Gaz was just taken out. And now Op 4 are still trying to pursue the Blue 4 elements over here. So I'd imagine that was... Okay, Audrey Huddle's got a sniper here. He's looking around. Yanni's on a kill. And then we just had some random explosives go off over here. Ah, I see what they're doing. So they're using satchels to destroy vehicles here that were left behind by Op 4. This, I think, was one of Op 4's repair vehicles. And then this was the Ammo Vic, and that also gets destroyed. So I'm not seeing kill credits for ground vehicles on any of them, so that might be the other team that did it. No, it's not counting. Oh, well. So, yeah, they've knocked out Op 4's forward triple R position. This isn't the Gaz, this is the... Yeah, so that's the rearm, refuel, and repair truck all down. So Op 4 only has 1 copy of triple R remaining. Might see Blue 4 try to counterattack this one position. They do have a tank supporting with a 50 cal firing up, but wasn't there a Blue 4 tank up here? Yep. But it's looking to the left now instead. Quite interesting that he's turning out looking, because I thought this was a camera that could zoom in, but I guess I'm wrong. Yep, Op 4 does have air superiority with the KA-52, so that could still change the tide, but in every other aspect, Blue 4 is at an advantage. But those rocket pods firing into a Blue 4 position could get an entire squad wipe. So we just have to see. Mortars landing around the position as well. No random kills to get that time. And then Wayne here is my all-star here. No deaths yet on 5 kills. Looks like they're trying to walk the artillery a bit closer. Tank round just went way over. Jivu here's just guessing. Got some coax coming out. The craters here kind of stop the blast of that HE from landing into the compound here. You do see where some OPFOR have been killed off, though, in one means or another. Uh-oh. Oh, my gosh. That... Yeah, that killed the turret gunner. Just as I saw the vehicle coming in. Trying to see if this is going to get ambushed. It does not. They let it go. It's just John Miller doing Arma things. That would be his last life, though, technically. So I think he's going to pick up all these guys, and they're going to then go on a flank to another spot. That's so funny. Literally the last second we click away, we just watch the tank ground impact and just massacre that one dude. Bufor and OPFOR close together over on that spot as well. And we'll see what this KA-52 is doing. It looks like she's staying up high. And she has her gun forward. Oh, that's the mortar, and that rocket immediately murks the mortar gunner. That is the Blue 4 mortar. It's knocked over, but it's not destroyed, but the gunner's dead. Effective rocket strike, in my opinion. Huh? I think Curie reconnecting somehow made the server freak out. Sorry, that was the server mortar. Okay, so if that mortar took damage, it automatically kills the server. Ooh, how's everyone's day? I'm gonna need some coffee before the next stream, though. Like, goddamn. Yeah, the mortar itself is not dead, so the gunner can come back and grab it, but... trying to figure out what just caused the server to freak the heck out. Frames have been fine from what I've seen on the overlay, so I wonder what caused the server to freak out on that regard. Oh well, guess we're in a hold. Anyway, I'm going to do my best to... Just looking to see who else is like spawning in. That might be Curie right there. Maybe he's looking into it because I know he has admin perms. Anyway, we're probably going to fit some DayZ in between the end of this stream and Stillwater. Looks like the server's coming back online now. Cool. So DayZ probably around 7 o'clock tonight, maybe 7:30. I'll be on there for 2 hours, and we'll have Stillwater tonight. I'm probably going to walk in with the grease gun and then try to find a better gun just so I can throw that out. But yeah, with how Arma 3 is, you know, the high capacity of everything, and then, you know, people DDoSing bullshit all the time, it's good to have safety measures like that. Alright. Blue 4 might run into these guys moving over here. Ah, yeah, Nemesis already has him scoped in. Tank has identified the infantry up there and is firing HE at him. So they're trying to pull away. Puma, very lucky angle on this crater. He survives 2 HE shells. And the rest of Blue 4 starts pulling out. They're instead going to focus on that infantry group down there, I bet. Op 4 retaking this sector. And I got the KA-60 marauding around too. I wonder what else it is going to be able to find. Malin forgot to feed the hamster? I guess he did. It is important to feed your server hamster, everybody. You know, they might have just had to replace it. Has anyone ever noticed that, like, for pet stories, like, for a cat or a dog, it's usually really sad, but for a hamster, it just gets into, like, some of the wildest shit ever? Or is that just me? Alright, they got 1 kill. They're sighting another guy right there. Nemesis got his 3rd kill there. And that was Sniper here's first death. It was you causing the lag spike, so you just knocked out the server hamster and had to change it. Oh no, Malin. Rest in peace, the server hamster. He will be forgotten because he's already been replaced. Alright, Op 4 right next to a good chunk of guys here. However, these guys are some of the dudes that are on their final life. Some are on their second to last life, some are on their last life, so... They're fighting a group of people, all that have already died once, though, so... funny enough, on this same attack, and Blue 4 seems to be trying to encircle this position, but we do have some Op 4 elements coming in, but they are also on their last life. Fetty, again, that has to be a debug reason, because I thought this was a 3-life thing. Malin, is it 3-life or 5-life? Because now I'm faking myself out. Yanni might have just spotted Grav. Oh, so did you refund people in that chopper crash then? That Op 4 had in the beginning? Apparently it was Arma Fair. Alright. Blue 4 might be lining up a good angle. No, they're looking at the sky. I just find it funny that these guys are running in parallel and Blue 4's just staring up at the 52. Rav just got found and engaged and eliminated by Yanni's group moving up here. Codsworth has a -1. Not sure if they were firing at Puma or somebody else. I don't see any deaths here, though. Azariah reinserting, though. He's been back in base for a hot second. Oh, yeah, no, the K-52 was definitely flying around trying to hunt for stuff. And Blue 4 might have just caught the tail end of Op 4 here. And they might be about to deliver some final blows to some of these players. Reinitialize my tracers here. I think that server stoppage broke my tracer ability. That's a shame. Yeah, the response there. That's fine. Big chunk of Op 4 guys are down now. Dream managed to get a kill, but he got knocked out, so hopefully he'll receive some medical. Got a few other Op 4 guys looking in this direction. They might try to hone in. Tim's, I think, trying to get the shot on Tito here. More GLs coming in as well. Meanwhile, you got Fresno also on his last life over here. Hiding. Oh, he is uncon in a tree. No, he's playing dead. And they're definitely popping a bunch of grenades around to try to find him. Eric, meanwhile, leading the charge in this position. Sees those doors opening. I'd pop a grenade in there for funsies. Kill switch comes out. He immediately runs in, misses the grenade throw. Turth hiding under the camo net. Eric doesn't see him. Eric blind suppresses the left side, not knowing where he's getting shot from. Cheeky spot. I like where Turf's hiding, though. Yeah, and he's intentionally leaning on the side to be under the camo net. This is top-tier strategy, bro. I love this. See how he's leaning sideways so his backpack doesn't peek out and immediately give him away? Wayne has no idea where to look. Turth gives himself away. Wayne might have noticed. Turth does the one thing he shouldn't have done in that scenario. But will any of the blue 4 guys come up to see him? There goes my hero. Why'd I just hear a grenade? Oh, and Turth gets knocked out by a grenade because it doesn't give him any protection from fragmentation. And that killed another blue 4 guy. And now it's up to Tackleberry. Put an explosive on it. Please tell me you have it. Yes. Bro, here's... Oh, yes. Yes. Can't tell if the K-50 just did a strike back there. Kill switch is about to become the kill switch. Other guy just bled out. Yep, building goes down. Kill switch in a bit of trouble now. His cover's gone. Tackleberry walks over and fumbles the bag. Absolutely fumbles the bag. Damn. Dream is left behind. That's a shame. If only Molly, the superior Arma 3 player, was there to save him. Crazy. This blue 4 group is continuing on. Alright, I'm going to soft log real quick, just to get my tracers back, because I'm going to need those. Because otherwise you cannot tell who's shooting at who. Alright. Let's go ahead and reinitialize all of our keys here, and hopefully that'll fix the tracers bugging out. Malin, did the server hamster just get eaten again, buddy? I hope me soft logging didn't cause this. That would be unfortunate. Guys, where's the server hamster? Is he okay? Guys, is the server hamster okay? Guys, what happened to the server hamster? I'm worried about him. Oh god, they've gone through 2 server hamsters in a row. I didn't do any. I don't even run the server. It's not my hamster. No, Ian keeps good care of the hamster. All right, he gives it. I was about to say he gives the hamster rights. That's not how we word it. Oh man. I somehow think soft logging. I think soft logging broke me. Here, let me just do a hard relog onto the server. I think we just need to like get off and then push back in because something's a little fucky wucky with the server. The anti-grav KA-52 can shoot at snakes. Yeah. I think it's because I did a soft log. That's why on my end, for whatever reason, it just bugged my interface out. Because I was trying to fix it for tracers to come back because that pause borked everything. No. That's not good. That is actually not good. All right, the trees are speaking Finnish. We can't see what's going on. I think I borked my interface by doing that soft log. And then a hard log also does the same thing. So this is unfortunate. I already did that, Malin. I did a soft log and I did a hard log, and it, I might just be bugged out. I might be GG'd. Like, when they respawn, it's fine. But, yeah, the helicopter, for example, is still frozen. At least it's in a different angle now. Yeah, I don't know. Let me try a game restart, and if that doesn't work, then I guess GG. That's weird. That's weird. I think I've run into some of the craziest bugs in Arma in the past week. Like, I've run into more bugs in the past week than the past, like, year or two. Because, the POG streams where, like, people couldn't even access the arsenal for some weird reason. I already joined a different spectator slot. At least I thought I did. I thought I was, like, the 4th one, and then I picked the last or second to last one. Revanche, we're not abusing hamsters. No. Ian's server hamster, it has voting rights, believe it or not. We just claimed it was in... Okay, actually, I shouldn't make that joke. The only good bug is a dead bug, yeah. Except this ain't Starship Trooper PvP. So let me try that middle one. Enable simulation instead of enable simulation global. Oh boy. Oops. Yeah, we're fucked. So, yeah, if you crash out, you're fucked. Sucks. All right, I'm going to refund the prediction again. I will see you guys in a few hours for DayZ, I guess, because, yeah, total interface death here. I just wanted to bring tracers back. At least I got it back. What does Mr. Light see? Bro sees Russian in the trees. I can't even see him. That's the scary part. All right, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operation. I'm not blaming anyone. I don't even know who to blame for this one. Otherwise, cheers, guys. Have a good one. And go operate operationally. Weird. Corrupted files wouldn't affect anything if it was working fine and then it now magically doesn't work after a soft log, but that's fine. Whatever. GG.